I need you to really understand here how the system protected him. It's one thing to have a police officer, as they say, a few bad apples, right? They always tell you about, oh, a few bad apples. That's one thing. And then the DA refusing to charge him, right? The state refusing to bring charges against him. Oh, that's another. And not just him, all four. That's something else. And then the president doing nothing. That's something else. Do you understand here? Do you understand the problem? And then the entire police force being sent to his house to protect him like he's some fucking, high-value target. He's a murderer. And you protected him because he has a badge. The system created this problem. The system enabled this problem. And the system told you that he can get away with it. And where are the other three officers? Where are they? Listen. If one person kills another in the same way that George Floyd was murdered, all right, and three other people stood around while he did it, all four of them would be charged with murder as accomplices, right? Where are they? The fact that you fired all four of them means you know that they are complicit. Or else, why did you fire the other three officers? If they did nothing wrong, why did you fire them? No, they're complicit. They stood around. They let him do that. They let him get away with it. They are accomplices. If they did not have any badges, they would also be in jail right now. Why are they not in jail? Look at how your system has failed you. In broad daylight. In broad fucking daylight. If those four cops were civilians, they'd all be in jail right now. Especially if they were black. Oh, they would have been arrested within 10 minutes. Are you tripping? Do you take me for a fucking fool? Don't embarrass yourself. Save yourself the bullshit. We're not stupid. Okay? All four of them should be in jail right now. All six of those cops who killed Eric Garner should be in jail since years. That was under a black president. Remember that. Under Mr. Biden, who wants to be president. And let me point something else out. Something very interesting, right? Speaking of Biden. Let me show you something over here. Look at this. You guys remember Amy Klobuchar, don't you? Right? Look what she had to say. Police officer Derek Chauvin has been arrested and is in custody for the murder of George Floyd. The first step towards justice. How generous of you to notify us, right? Now, the part that she isn't telling you, the part that Amy Klobuchar is conveniently leaving out, is that she, oh yes, she, Amy Klobuchar, refused to prosecute Chauvin. Yes, the very one who just murdered George Floyd. She refused to prosecute him on multiple occasions when she was a DA. Oh, she forgot to tell you that, didn't she? This bitch. She is the reason that this motherfucker was out on the street walking the beat. She's the reason that he is still a police officer, that he was in that position to even murder George Floyd in the first place. Now, again, the whole system is fucked up, as I just pointed out. And here's proof of it. See this? In 2006, Amy Klobuchar, then a district attorney, declined to bring charges against the cop who had shot and killed a Native American man. 2 days ago, that cop, Derek Chauvin, murdered George Floyd. Amy Klobuchar needs to resign. Amy Klobuchar should be in fucking jail. All right. So I think this is from the New York Times article, which is behind a paywall. This scumbag, Chauvin, this is in 2006. 2006, man. Do you remember 2006? How long ago that is? Jesus. Derek Chauvin, the same officer who knelt on Mr. Floyd's neck for more than 7 minutes as he complained that he could not breathe, was one of 6 officers involved in the shooting of a man who had stabbed multiple people before turning on the police. Ms. Klobuchar, weeks away from being elected to the Senate, was still the prosecutor, but the case wasn't heard until after she took the oath of office in Washington. Okay, so Klobuchar's last day in the office here was December 31st, 2006, and she had no involvement in the prosecution of this case at all. Basically, you know, writing them a blank check. And there are several articles going into detail about this. But this pig, Chauvin, who killed George Floyd, multiple instances, multiple complaints filed against him for police brutality, for use of excessive force, murder. And she did nothing. She gave him a carte blanche, a blank check. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Over and over, multiple times. And now she's being vetted for a potential vice president pick for Joe Biden. Wow. Great. Wonderful. Another enabler of white supremacy, another enabler of oppression towards blacks. Wonderful. We're so fucking excited, guys, aren't we? Unfucking believable, man. These people, I swear to God, if there was any justice in the world, they'd be taken out by their fucking ears by these protesters and dealt with. If there was any justice in the world. Take that however you may. Make no mistake, she has George Floyd's blood on her hands and many other people. Of course. Of course. And on that same note, which I was reading about earlier, and I think I've told you, I've mentioned this to you guys before. In the UK, you had somebody killed by the police at one point. Okay, so his name is Ian Tomlinson, right? You can read about this on Wikipedia. It's not a new story. It's from 2009 at the G20 summit protest. I told you about this. So I believe he was hit by a police baton. As I told you, the police in the UK, they don't carry guns. And he's not even a protester. He sells newspapers. He's a man who sells newspapers. And the police accidentally hit him. He collapsed and died on the spot. For no fucking reason. Oh, you should have seen the uproar. I mean, look at the proof. I still remember it. And this is no racial undertones, nothing. But just the fact that a policeman killed a civilian, oh my God. The fucking outrage. And yes, good, justifiably so. There should be outrage. Always. Never let these motherfuckers get away with it. Never. And you know who was head of the CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service, who declined to pursue the case? The head of the Labour Party right now, who replaced Jeremy Corbyn, Keir Starmer. Sir Keir Starmer. Do you see how these people who fail to prosecute murderers in the system go on to achieve even greater success? It's weird. It's interesting seeing this parallel in real time, is it not? I don't know if many other people have observed it, but it's there. It's right there. So just in case you're curious, in the end, you had two different conclusions provided by the coroners, right? So they did two different autopsies, essentially, came up with two different conclusions. You know, one saying that, oh yes, the police caused his death. Another saying that no, this happened because he had underlying health conditions. In the end, I think the manslaughter charges were dropped against the cop, and the police admitted that he is the reason that Ian Tomlinson died, and then Tomlinson's family were paid an undisclosed sum. So they settled it out of court, essentially, right?